Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Crowley House Farm and Nursery. Today we're working on a little project. Well, it's not exactly a little, but it's what we're doing is we're building onto the back. We're just kind of actually not really building on, but yes, we are. We are putting in a awning off the back of the studio, and the reason for that is we have run out of room. If you watched our last week's video, it was very, very tight trying to get all the weddings and events that we had going out the door. And coming up, we have Christmas is starting in, and so what we need is a space to be able to do our wreath making. In the years past, we have done it in the greenhouse, but as you know, we are starting a nursery. So in the greenhouse right now, we have tons of starts. We still have crops going, and it's just not going to work this year. And also our studio is just going to be full of things for the holidays, and people are still going to be bopping by and seeing our farm. And so we need to keep that space kind of clear and clean. So Keith and I and my husband Jason are going to be working on a kind of, I don't know if it's a lean-to or it's just an awning back off the little studio here. So we've started the project. It's a little messy right now, but I think in the end it's going to look really, really good. Our eventual goal is to put a cooler back here, and then also just have a space for buckets and things like that, and us to work out of the rain. Super excited about this because I've wanted to do this for years and years and years. Anyways, okay.
Hey guys, so just on the back side of the studio, as some of you guys have seen already from our reels on Instagram and YouTube, we've talked about doing an addition on here for years, but now we're actually getting it done this fall before the busy season of next year starts. So we're just back here. I'm prepping everything. Jason's actually on his way from work. He's going to come down here and give me a hand today for a couple hours. We'll be framing up our main carrier board across the top there, and then we're going to frame off of that over to these posts that I set last week with the help of Bo. So Bo and I came out here. It's kind of the first father-son project we did together, which was really fun. He wasn't really much help, but it's still fun to have him out here hanging out. So this type of building is a traditional post frame construction style of lean-to that we're adding on to the studio. So most of the time with traditional building, you would be stick framing on top of a concrete pad. With the post frame, you're actually digging down in the ground, setting your foundations in the ground with the posts there. We have pressure treated, so they should be holding up for at least 80 to 100 years without any structural issues. Once we get all this done for this winter, we're going to be using this area mainly for Christmas. So our wreaths and a lot of our garlands, the work will be done back here, out of the wind, out of the elements, which will be really nice for Riley, Beth, myself. And then next year, probably early spring, hopefully, we will be pouring our concrete pad in here and then enclosing all this, so it'll be part of the studio eventually. The long-term goal, probably hopefully towards the end of next year, would be to go from this post back here, and we'll be framing on the interior of the lean-to again once the concrete's down, to do a walk-in cooler. Right now you can see the cooler sticking out of the back of the studio. That's our walk-in cooler right now. It's a pretty small space, but it has served us well over the years. But adding this, obviously a lot bigger cooler space, will be really helpful, especially moving forward with the type of quantity we want to do on the farm, and then also with wholesaling, weddings, all sorts of stuff. If you look right over here, you'll see a window. That's kind of a storage area. We'll be cutting that window out and then doing a walkout door from that side of the studio into here. And then we'll also be setting this up for more storage in here. I think we want to eventually do some plumbing back here as well, so we'll have a wash station for the buckets, so Riley and Beth and myself don't have to be washing buckets, you know, out in the weather. We'll actually have them in here. So it's really exciting, really fun, a lot of work ahead, so stay tuned.
Okay, so I have come up with, might I say, the coolest wreath designs. No, I got these from Pinterest, but I'm inspired by Pinterest. But I came up with our wreath designs for Shriners this year. If you didn't know, we designed all the wreaths for Shriners Iris Garden, who is a local grower also here. They're old grower here. One of the first way back pioneer days-esque growing irises. They're much bigger than us, and they only focus on irises, which is really cool, and they grow amazing things. Definitely check them out. But we make all of their Christmas wreaths, and every year we have to come up with different designs, and we have 3 wreaths this year. And you guys get a little sneak peek into my mood boards. It's very fun, very exciting. All right, this is the first one. I was really inspired by Little Women, the new movie that came out, and the way that they decorated their house for Christmas with lots of oranges and citrus, and I kind of wanted it to have that old home feel to it, of just being very elegant and simple but fun at the same time, and cozy. We're going for a lot of warm, homey feels to these wreaths this year. This is my second one. Beth didn't like the last location, that's why we've moved, but this is my second wreath. Again, kind of going for a very homey, cozy. This is a little more Hobbiton to me, a little maximalist feel. This is gonna have a lot going on in it with the red ribbon and the nuts and the dried flowers and lots of different textures is what I was going for. Very fun, really excited. We try to do like a red and a blue like wreath every year. Both of ours though are warm tone still this year, because again I'm trying to just keep it a little more upbeat. I guess this is our last one. We always do a grapevine wreath because, you know, we live in the Pacific Northwest. We have a multitude of grapevine here. This is a very woodland, mystical, Narnia, Lord of the Rings feel to it. I was very inspired by movies and Christmas in movies to me. I think because a lot of those films we watch this time of year. But yeah, we're gonna have like that deep velvet green ribbon and mossy woodland sticks and mossy, or not mossy, but like woodland greens, things that like grow in the woods. And we're gonna have gold-tipped pine cones. Gold-tipped pine cones, so it's gonna feel very rich in warmth, I would say. It's not necessarily a super warm tone, but it's richer. Does that make sense? Like a hearty soup.
Okay,
anyway.
so what is the names that you and Keith
Well, I was trying to figure out the names, and so I texted Caitlin, Keith's wife, who is a 10 out of 10, might I say. She kills it. So she gave me some name ideas. We have Evergreen Glow.
Which one's that one for?
Which this is just for anything.
Oh.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Frosted Citrus Charm.
Ooh.
Velvet Winter Sky. Citrus and Evergreen Elegance. Just some ideas. I don't know quite yet what I'm wanting to go with, but, you know, we'll keep brainstorming those, and we'll make really good names. But I'm about to go to the store and pick out our ribbons and all of our little goodies that are going to go into these, because we have Shriners coming tomorrow to check these out. So I have to make these today. Even though it's like still October, we're going to have some Christmas wreaths. Anyway, very exciting.
Hello.
This trim just so we can run all the way out to the end. I don't know if that's absolutely.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we want to rip
So
that.
I can cut that off
Oh,
perfectly,
okay.
so we don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
That's 8 foot plus 8'6" to the bottom.
Okay, so Keith and I are at the back of the studio working on putting in a lean-to, and we're gonna go, I think it's 12 feet we're going out. So we will use this as storage to keep stuff out of the weather, and eventually we'll probably close it in as funds allow us to. But for now we wanna get this roof put on, get some lighting put in here so we can work out of the weather, have another place to work out of the weather. Keith and I are gonna put up baseboard on the outside of the wall so we can give us something to put our trusses on.
Careful. I don't want anybody falling.
So just back here finishing off the runners on the lean-to. Gonna top off those posts and then we'll get running the rafters, and after that metal. So everything's moving along pretty quickly. Thankfully the rain has held off, so getting going.
you taking that to Mama?
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Same with like the other one. I was like it's very hot-bitted.
Pretty! Can I smell? Oh, it's so pretty. Nice.
So I'm just starting to make our citrus frosted charm. I think that's what we're calling this. Hold on. Let me double check. We came up with names. So I'm starting with our frosted citrus charm, which will have oranges and magnolia in them. I'm starting by making my bunches for the wreaths, and then we'll put it all together. I'm really excited to see how this comes out. I wired these magnolias leaves and then tape them. And then what I'm gonna do so that they stay is as I continue to make, I'll make sure that wire goes in the next bunch. And that'll make sure that it stays in place. Just so you know, for if you're either making it on a wreath maker like me or just doing it on a wire frame with some wire, just make sure that all of your pieces are going in the same direction. That's how you get that continuous round wreath look. I usually try to have a good grip. If you can see, like my thumb and my middle finger are like barely touching. That's kind of how full you want it to be. It should feel full in the hand. And it should always feel like that, each one. Last one's a little tricky, making sure that all of these bits are not in the clamp. And also, because I have that wire, making sure that's in there. Doing the last bit. And again, making sure all your pieces are going the same direction. And it's a lot of fluffing. Hey, for our first wreath, that's really good. Usually our first wreath looks like So that's the base for our wreath for the citrus frosted charm. Very excited. I like it. I like how the magnolia looks in there.
Me too.
We're making a bow. I'm using this really pretty blue ribbon. The actual wreath is gonna have a velvet ribbon. This is just the closest in color I could find that was wired. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a loop, quarter turn, make a second loop, quarter turn, make another loop, quarter turn. It's like harder to do slow. Again, spin. And you can do as many loops as you want. I'm probably gonna do 5 to 6 is usually what I like to do. And then once you have these little bows happening, take your wire and in the middle, you're going to take that wire around, pull, and twist until it's nice and tight. And then you'll cut your excess ribbon and fluff out. So you have a bow. Thanks for the... Got some scissors from a ghost off the side camera. Yeah. Alright. Ta-da. You can fluff it out. Nice and pretty. That's our Christmas wreaths.
That's the citrus cherry.
Everything is going really well today. Almost done with all the rafters, and then we'll start the purlins, which run diagonal, and then we'll be installing the metal. So hopefully we can get at least the first part of the metal done today, but we'll see. Another big push for this project is that we have the Christmas greens that we had ordered a couple months ago. We just got notification yesterday that they have arrived. So we are actually going to be heading south of here a couple hours to pick those up tomorrow. So it's a really big push to at least get some of the metal on today so we can keep all those greens covered, because once they get wet they get real heavy and a lot harder to work with. So Jason and I are really pushing today to try to get this project wrapped up.
So we're getting the metal on here, getting it all laid out square, then we'll start screwing everything down. But we're washing some of the panels because they just sat here for a couple years and got a little dirty. But yeah, I'm just throwing them up there. Keith's laying down another board, and yeah, we should be almost done with this today, maybe.
You made really good progress.
We made great progress today. It's amazing.
It's a team effort.
So we're back here, obviously underneath our new lean-to off the back end of the studio. As you saw earlier in the video, Jason and I were building this out over the last couple days. Thankfully, we got it done just in time, as we just had a storm roll in late last night, early this morning. So it's really been windy, really rainy. So we're really thankful that we got it done. I actually just finished screwing off the roof metal yesterday afternoon. So got that done in time. We do have our noble fir here that Jason and I just picked up the other day as well. So this is about 1,000 pounds roughly of noble fir, and it's ready to go for the wreath making that will be starting this next week. So the next kind of step in this process is to bring back all the equipment for the wreath making back here. Jason does have a little bit of electrical work to do to set up the lighting so that we can actually work out here pretty late in the night, because we do have a couple hundred wreaths to finish between now and mid-December. So a lot going on. Do check out our website if you are interested in purchasing a wreath. We will be shipping those out to you, our clients, in the next coming weeks. So take a look at them. You'll love them as much as we do.
All right, so we got the roof in place. Keith got it all screwed down yesterday. Good thing, because the wind came in today, and it was quite, I think 19-mile-an-hour winds, I think is what was registered. Might not seem that much, but here that's pretty high. So our next plan is probably over the next year or so, I guess. We're gonna close in all these walls, and then we're gonna put a larger cooler here. Two things that'll give Beth more room inside the studio to work and more space to store plants and flowers.
It is one of those chilly, windy days. Oh, okay. Like Keith was saying, if you are interested in supporting our farm, we do have a link below to the signature Crowley House wreath that Riley made. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. She's so good at her job at just designing and coming up with really cool different looks and feels and things like that for the wreaths. We also are selling, as you guys probably know if you followed us for a while, we have sold wreaths with Shriner's Iris Garden on their online store. And so if you would like to see our other wreaths that are available there, there is also a link below that you can check out. We will be starting to ship our wreaths the week before Thanksgiving, so that if you are one of those folks that like to have the house completely decorated for the Thanksgiving and all your guests that are coming, we will get them to you by then. Fingers crossed. Anyways, until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up, like and subscribe. We'd love to have you tag along with us here at Crowley House, and we will be seeing you in the next video. Much success in all you do and grow, and we'll be seeing you shortly. Bye-bye.